Students, in this video lecture under the chapter Neural Control and Coordination, we will talk about the generation and conduction of nerve impulse and reflex action and reflex arc. So first we will talk about that how the nerve impulse are generated and conducted. So there are three steps of generation and conduction of impulse. So first phase is resting phase. This resting phase is also called as polarized membrane stage. In this stage, we can see here, this is the schematic presentation of the axon. So inside the axon membrane, there is a negative charge, and outside of this membrane is positive charge. So we will see some details that in this state, means resting phase state, sodium potassium pump works. So what happens here? Due to sodium potassium pumps, we can see that it brings potassium inside and throws sodium outside. So what happens here? It brings 2 potassium inside and 3 sodium outside. You can see here that this membrane uh, utilizes sodium potassium pump. Sodium potassium pump is nothing but the utilization of carrier protein, and by the use of ATP, it brings 2 potassium inside and throws 3 sodium outside this membrane. So we can see here the negative charge is inside and positive charge on outer side. So here we will see the axonal membrane. The outer surface is positively charged and inner surface is negatively charged. Why? Why the negatively charged the membrane is negatively charged from inside and positively charged from outside? Just because more at this stage, this membrane is more permeable to potassium ion. So what happens? It is more permeable to potassium ion. So the potassium present inside comes outside. We can see here, and impermeable to sodium. So none of here very less or no movement of sodium takes place. And the third is impermeable to negatively charged protein. So what happens? All the potassium it will come out just because the membrane is permeable to potassium. So potassium come out, no sodium comes out, and inside several of the negatively charged proteins and ions will be there. Just because of this condition, this membrane is negatively charged from inside and positively charged on outside, because the ions, the more number of negative ions, negatively charged ions are present inside, and more number of positively charged ions are outside. So the exoplasm inside the axon contains high concentration of potassium and negatively charged proteins and low concentration of sodium, and fluid outside the axon having high concentration of sodium and high low concentration of potassium. So in this situation, we can see it. This situation has been created. Now, when stimulus comes to this nervous system or nerve cell, then what happens? Then this phase is called as action phase, and the state is called depolarization state. And now the membrane will become depolarized. Now in the first phase, in the resting phase, when the stimulus was not there, then the membrane was called as polarized membrane state. Now when the stimulus comes, then the membrane will be depolarized. How this will be depolarized? We can see here when the stimulus is applied, or when the stimulus comes, then what happens? We can see the axonal membrane becomes permeable to sodium. In the previous state, we have seen that the membrane is not permeable to sodium. Now, when stimulus comes, then it becomes permeable to sodium, and due to influx of sodium, the reversal of the polarity takes place. So, what happens due to influx of sodium, and as we know, the potassium goes outside. So this situation creates the reversible polarization state. Reversible polarization state means, as we know, in the resting phase, there was negative charge inside and positive charge outside. But in this situation, when stimulus comes and due to influx of sodium, the come positive charge will be created inside and negative charge will be created outside, and this happens at a very much local place, means where our neuron receives stimulus. At the particular place, this situation will be created. So now the outer surface will be negatively charged and inner surface will be positively charged, means just reverse of the resting state. Now the electrical potential at such site will be created due to creation of potential difference. So we can see here that due to reversal of the polarity, the potential difference will be created, and we can say that action potential will be created, and this will be the nerve impulse. And this deep and this particular site, or this particular place in the axon move forward. It means this polarized uh, spot will move forward along the length of the axon, and sodium influx is short-lived. So this is the short-lived uh, short-lived situation. So what happens? We have seen that in the general case, means when there is no stimulus, then the inner side of the membrane is negatively charged, and outside of the membrane is positively charged. But when the stimulus comes, then due to influx of sodium, the potential difference is created at a particular situation, and uh, here the due to creation of potential difference, action potential will be created, and this is called as the nerve impulse. And now the nerve impulse will move along with the length of axon. So it will move forward. And what happens next? So the impulse will move forward to transfer the signal to another site, means it will move forward, as we have discussed that our nerve receive signal or stimulus from the dendrite and through cell bodies and axons. If the signal reaches to the terminal point of the axon, and after that it will be transferred to either the next of the nerve, or the gland, or the muscle. Now what happens when this nerve impulse move forward? Then the resting phase becomes, means it will be recreated by the repolarization state, means this is the third state. In this state, what happens? Sodium potassium pump starts again. So we can see here in the first phase, the resting phase, the sodium potassium pump was continuously working, but in action phase it has been stopped. But in the third stage, it will be resumed. The situation will be resumed. Resumed means the whatever uh, physiological processes were taken place in the resting phase will be resumed. Resumption means the sodium potassium pump will be started again. So what will happen again? The potassium will brought inside, and the whatever sodium was there inside the axon will be thrown out, and potassium start diffu diffusion outside, and restores the resting potential. So what happens? We can see that for the generation and conduction of the nerve impulse, three phases were there: resting phase, action phase, and repolarization phase. So in the first phase, there was no stimulus. In the second phase, stimulus was created, and the stimulus has moved forward along with the length of axon, and the place where it was generated after moving forward of stimulus, repolarization state comes, which resumes the resting phase. Now, we will talk about the transmission of impulse. So, I told you that there are some junctions such as nerve into nerve into dendrite of another neuron. So it will make a junction, and another situation could be there such as nerve into muscle of the neuron. This could also be the junction, and nerve end to the gland. This could also be the junction. So what happens? The nerve nervous impulse move along with the axon. At the terminal point, the message or the stimulus or nerve impulse will be transferred to the another neuron or muscle or gland. So here there could be three situations. All the junctions are called synapse. So what are the synapse? Synapse is the junction of the last part of one axon, and the second part could be the neuron, could be the muscle, could be the gland, and the gap between them means between the nerve ending and the another thing, either neuron, either muscle or gland, will be called a synaptic cleft. So we will discuss it uh, in the here only. So we can see here the category of the synapse. So the synapse, the we can see here there are two categories: electrical synapse and chemical synapse. So the transfer of the signal can be transferred by two ways. One is electrical, by the electrical synapse, and another by the chemical synapse. So we will see when the electrical synapse transfers the signal and when the chemical synapse transfers the signal. So first we will see what is electrical synapse. So in case of electrical synapse, the pre and post neurons are very close. So when both the neurons are very close to each other, then the signal will be transferred by electrical synapse, and it is this kind of situation is very few, and electrical impulse transmits as such due to close contact. So what happens? We have seen that the signal through this neuron moves in the form of electrical impulse. So when the neuron will be transferred to another neuron, and when they will be in close contact, then this will be called as uh, electrical synapse, and these are very few in the body. But the second situation or second site or second junction is the chemical synapse. So most of the synapse are present in the body is chemical synapse, and these are these are maximum in number, or mostly these kind of synapse are there in our body. And here the pre and post neurons are separated by a fluid called synaptic cleft. So what happens in this situation? There is a gap between one neuron and another neuron, and here The electrical impulse will be converted into chemical chemi, uh, chemical impulse, and again it will be again the electrical impulse will be created. So electrical impulse is transmitted through chemical. Now we will talk about the chemical synapse. So we have seen how the action potential is created and how the potential difference make a electrical current which moves from one region to another region through the axon. So what happens? We can see the situation. This is the end of the neuron, and we have already talked that the end of the axon is like button shape or knob like structure. So this is the end of one neuron, and this is the muscle. So we will see how the electrical impulse is converted into chemical, and again the signal is transferred from the axon to this muscle. So what happens? We can see here the electrical comes impulse comes through this axon along its length, and when it reaches to the end, then it will reach to the button or knob like structure, and in this knob like structure we have already talked that this structure contains a neurotransmitter, and this chemical neurotransmitter is called acetylcholine, and this acetylcholine is present into several vesicles or pouch-like structure. So when the current electrical current in the one stimulus in the form of electric current comes into the axon, then these synaptic vesicles or pouch-like structures with neurotransmitter reaches to the surface of this knob-like structure, and it releases the acetylcholine. Now we can see that these pouches reaches at the surface and it bursts, and after bursting it releases the neurotransmitter, or we can say the acetylcholine. So this acetylcholine will be released to the next part. Either it would be the neuron, I have talked already, either it would be the gland or muscle. So in this example, we have taken muscle. So what happens? This neurotransmitter will be released to the into the gap, and this gap will be received by the receptor present on the next neuron or muscle or gland, and again the electrical impulse will be created. So by this we have seen how the nerve impulse has been created, how it transfers from one region to another, and how the transfer of this electrical impulse is converted into chemical, and again it will be it will the stimulus will move forward. So there are some facts. So when nerve arrives at the axon terminal, it it stimulates the movement of synaptic vesicle towards the membrane, where they fuse with the plasma membrane and release their neurotransmitter. And here the neurotransmitter is acetylcholine in the synaptic cleft and binds with the receptor present on postsynaptic membrane, and it binds again to generate post potential difference, which may proceed further. So whatever I have said before is the repetition of that. Now we will talk about the reflex action. So the reflex action. Reflex action is the sudden response to an external stimuli through peripheral nervous stimulation, and it occurs involuntarily without the conscious effort. So we can understand this reflex action in some situations when we uh, when the when the pin is pricked, then what happens? We just show some action without thinking anything. So this is the reflex action. So we might have experienced the same thing when we have a sudden response. So the sudden response is it voluntarily is being done, and what would be the path of this reflex action is called reflex arc. So what happens in the reflex action? So the efferent nerve or receptor receives the stimulus, and the signal is sent to the central nervous system and especially to the spinal cord. And what happens? The effector neuron sends signals for the action. So we can understand the situation by this figure. So suddenly when a pin is pricked, we can see in the skin, if the pin is pricked in the skin, then what happens? A signal or nerve impulse will be generated. We have talked about how the uh, nerve impulse will be generated. Now this impulse will be sent to the central nervous system by these sensory neurons or receptor neurons. Now the action will be decided what to do. Then by the central nervous system and especially by the spinal cord, and the order will be given to this muscle or effector organ by this motor neuron or effector neuron. So this makes an arc is called reflex arc. Thank you.